Welcome back! This is your go-to spot for immersive audio movie recaps. No screens, no distractions, just great storytelling brought straight to your ears. If you love movies, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a story. Now lean back, relax, and let's dive into today's film. The fabled city of Agrabah rises from the desert sands like a mirage, a sprawling metropolis of sun-bleached stone, vibrant silks, and towering minarets. It is a land of sharp contrasts, where rich caravan camels roam the vast dunes just beyond the city gates, and chaotic, bustling alleyways form the heartbeat of the marketplace. Here, under the blazing Arabian sun and beneath the cool glow of desert moons, an epic tale of magic, ambition, and identity unfolds. In the center of Agrabah's marketplace, the air is thick with the scent of exotic spices and the loud shouts of merchants hawking their wares. Among the crowds wanders Aladdin, a charismatic but penniless street urchin. Driven by hunger, Aladdin snatches a single loaf of bread from a fierce shop owner, instantly triggering a chaotic pursuit. Rasul, the iron-fisted head of the royal guards, leads his men through the alleyways, swords drawn. Aladdin, joined by his loyal and equally destitute companions, Babkak, Omar, and Qasim, navigates the rooftops and narrow passages, narrowly staying one jump ahead of the law. Despite his reputation as a clever thief, Aladdin possesses a deeply empathetic nature. After escaping the guards, he notices two starving beggars being verbally abused by a wealthy vendor. Without hesitation, he surrenders his hard-won bread to the children. Moments later, when the arrogant Prince Abdullah arrives with a royal entourage, shoving the locals aside, Aladdin steps forward to shield the beggars, earning the prince's deep disdain. Left alone on his small rooftop hovel, Aladdin looks out at the magnificent royal palace, vowing to change his ways and make his late mother proud, hoping the world will eventually see there is much more to him than just a street rat. Inside the sprawling palace, a different kind of imprisonment unfolds. Princess Jasmine, strong-willed and fiercely independent, confronts her doting father, the Sultan. The Sultan insists that she must adhere to ancient traditions and select a royal suitor by the next moon. Jasmine rejects Prince Abdullah's arrogance, arguing that she deserves an equal partnership rather than being treated as a prize to be won. Confiding in her supportive handmaidens, Isir, Manal, and Raja, Jasmine laments that her life of material wealth feels like a gilded prison. Desperate to experience the real world and find true love on her own terms, Jasmine slips into a hooded cloak and escapes beyond the palace gates. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the grand estate, the villainous Grand Vizier, Jafar, plots his rise to power alongside his over-eager lackey Iago. Consulting an ancient book of sorcery, Jafar chants an incantation to locate a mystical lamp that contains an all-powerful entity. A spooky voice echoes through the darkness, revealing that the lamp is hidden deep within the Cave of Wonders beneath the Great Dune. However, the voice delivers a stern warning. Only a single individual, a diamond in the rough, whose true worth lies deep within, is permitted to enter. The magic conjures a vision of Aladdin, identifying the street youth as the sole key to Jafar's dark ambitions. Back in the crowded marketplace, Babkak, Omar, and Qasim try to help Aladdin earn an honest living by putting on a lively musical performance for loose change. Jasmine, wandering through the crowd in her disguise, is instantly captivated by the energy of the city. Her path crosses with Aladdin, and a brief, spellbound moment passes between them before they are swept along by the crowd. As Aladdin offers to guide the newcomer through the marketplace, Jasmine unthinkingly takes an apple from a merchant's stall, unfamiliar with the concept of currency. The vendor barks out in anger, drawing the immediate attention of Rasul and his guards. Aladdin springs into action, inventing a story that Jasmine is his mentally unstable sister to confuse the guards. They flee through the hidden corridors of the city, seeking refuge in Aladdin's rooftop home. Looking out at the horizon, the two discover a profound mutual understanding. Both feel utterly trapped by their respective circumstances, stripped of the freedom to make their own choices. Just as they contemplate leaving the city together forever, the guards track them down. To protect Aladdin, Jasmine lowers her hood to reveal her royal tiara, commanding the guards to halt. Despite her authority, Rasul explains his orders come directly from Jafar. The princess is escorted away, promising to secure Aladdin's release, leaving the youth stunned by her true identity. Before the remaining guards can harm Aladdin, Jafar appears in the alleyway disguised as a wealthy old man accompanied by a cloaked Iago. Jafar pays off the corrupt guards, claiming to be Aladdin's long-lost uncle. Once alone, the disguised vizier plays on Aladdin's desires to prove his worth and impress the princess, persuading him to enter the enchanted Cave of Wonders. Standing before the giant, roaring lion head entrance of the cave, Aladdin is instructed to fetch nothing but a plain, unadorned lamp. Inside, he is dazzled by mountains of gold, glittering jewels, and ancient artifacts. Though he locates the lamp, his eyes fall upon a piece of Egyptian jade, reminiscent of the jewelry Jasmine admired in the market. Mesmerized, Aladdin gently touches the treasure, instantly violating the cave's ancient decree. The cavern shakes violently, the entrance collapses with a deafening roar, and Aladdin is sealed deep underground in total darkness. Awaking from the collapse, a bruised Aladdin rubs the dusty lamp in frustration. In a flash of brilliant light and theatrical flair, an all-powerful, fast-talking genie emerges. The genie explains the rules of the lamp. The master is entitled to 3 wishes, with strict boundaries forbidding murder, the resurrection of the dead, or forcing someone to fall in love. Recognizing a unique opportunity, Aladdin uses his wit to trick the creature. He questions the genie's capabilities, and prompting the magical being to proudly blast open the cave entrance and transport them back to the desert without Aladdin ever officially uttering a formal wish. Safely outside, Aladdin realizes he still possesses all 3 of his wishes. When he asks the genie what he would desire, the cosmic entity admits he longs for true freedom, to be his own master rather than a prisoner to the lamp. Moved by this, Aladdin promises to use his final wish to free the genie once his first 2 desires are fulfilled. For his first official wish, Aladdin asks to be transformed into a wealthy, respectable prince, believing it is his only chance to legally woo Princess Jasmine. At the palace, Jafar falsely informs a devastated Jasmine that the street youth captured in the market has already been executed. Before the grief can settle, a massive, extravagant parade storms the palace grounds. Led by the genie and a grand entourage, Aladdin makes his entrance as Prince Ali of Ababwa. However, the overwhelming display and Aladdin's adopted persona of a rich, arrogant suitor completely offend Jasmine, who storms off in disgust, refusing to be bought with wealth. Frustrated by the failure, Aladdin lashes out at Babkak, Omar, and Qasim, who abandon him in disappointment over his changing attitude. Refusing to give up, Aladdin uses his magic carpet to visit Jasmine on her private balcony. Stripping away the loud performance of Prince Ali, he offers her a quiet, genuine apology and invites her to step onto the carpet. Gliding through an endless diamond sky, they share a transcendent journey across a whole new world, rediscovering their deep connection. During the ride, Jasmine recognizes Aladdin's mannerisms, forcing him to admit that he sometimes dresses as a commoner to escape the pressures of palace life. Delighted by the truth, Jasmine bids him a fond farewell, hinting that she has finally found her perfect suitor. Aladdin's joy is short-lived. As soon as Jasmine departs, Jafar, Iago, and the royal guards ambush him on the balcony, arresting him for trespassing in the princess's private chambers. Omar witnesses the arrest from afar and sprints back to the marketplace to alert Babkak and Qasim. Setting aside their past grievances, the 3 friends launch a daring, high-adventure rescue mission, storming the palace to save their brother. However, they are quickly outnumbered and captured by Rasul's guards. Bound in chains alongside his friends, Aladdin realizes his mistakes and rubs the lamp, using his second wish to grant them all a swift escape. Aladdin vows to immediately confess his true identity to Jasmine. But his resolve wavers when the joyful Sultan publicly announces that Ali will not only marry his daughter, but will also succeed him as the next Sultan of Agrabah. Fearing he cannot rule effectively without magical assistance, a panicked Aladdin informs the genie that he cannot break the lamp's bonds just yet. Deeply hurt by the broken promise, the disappointed genie retreats into his golden vessel. Confused and guilt-ridden, Aladdin paces away to clear his head, accidentally leaving the lamp behind on the courtyard floor. Iago swiftly snatches the artifact, delivering it directly into the eager hands of Jafar. At the royal wedding procession, before the assembled citizens of Agrabah, Jafar interrupts the ceremony. Having taken control of the lamp, he summons the genie and uses his first wish to chain the princess, her handmaidens, and Aladdin's friends. Jafar then commands the genie to make him the absolute Sultan of Agrabah, instantly transferring the royal crown to his own head. To completely shatter Jasmine's spirit, Iago strips away Aladdin's royal turban, exposing him as a mere street rat. As Jafar gloats over his absolute control, Aladdin realizes that he must rely on his wits rather than magic. He steps forward, boldly taunting Jafar by claiming that no matter how much power the new sultan commands, he will always be secondary to the genie, who holds the ultimate cosmic strength. Blinded by his own insatiable ambition, Jafar falls into the trap. For his final wish, he demands to be transformed into an all-powerful genie. The genie obliges, executing the command with a snap of his fingers. Jafar laughs wildly as dark energy swirls around him, but his triumph turns to terror as a black lamp materializes at his feet. Aladdin reminds him of the golden rule of cosmic entities. While a genie possesses phenomenal power, they are forever bound to an itty-bitty living space. Dragged down by the lamp's mystical pull, Jafar is sucked inside, imprisoned by his own greed. Rasul and the guards immediately switch their allegiance back to the true royal family, dragging Iago off to the dungeons. With peace restored, Aladdin turns to the genie. Though he still faces the prospect of losing Jasmine due to his common status, Aladdin chooses integrity over personal gain. He makes his final wish official, setting the genie free forever. The genie, now his own master, embraces Aladdin, declaring that no matter what titles the world bestows, Aladdin will always be a prince in his eyes. Moved by Aladdin's immense courage and his daughter's enduring wisdom, the Sultan declares a historic change to the kingdom's ancient decrees. From that day forward, the Princess of Agrabah is legally empowered to rule the kingdom with justice and marry whomever she deems worthy. Jasmine steps forward, extending her hand to Aladdin with a smile. With Babkak, Omar, and Qasim brought into the royal fold as legitimate advisors and friends, the citizens of Agrabah unite in celebration, stepping forward into a bright, free, and hopeful future.